Most fitness advice assumes that you've got 2 hours and the recovery of a 20-year-old. You've got a career, you've got a family, you've got responsibilities. Those rules just don't apply to you. I'm going to go over 3 exercises that you can use with progressions whenever you have 10, 15 minutes for yourself. These things will build strength, they'll build mobility, and help you to stay capable for decades going forward. The first exercise that I use personally is a push up, but not just a standard push up. The push up is one of the best overall exercises you can do for upper body strength. But what happens when you've mastered it and it's become too easy and now you're just playing a rep game? And unfortunately, when you do a lot of reps, that can lead to overtraining and injuries. There's two progressions that I like to use that are very challenging. Again, if you haven't already mastered a push up, if you can't do 25 or 30, I would stick to doing that first and then slowly kind of progress. The first variation is a paused push up. And you can pause at different, you know, locations in the movement. That's up to you. Personally, I like to prefer at the bottom or pause at the bottom and then do slight little variations in a plank form. Really good for working, your whole entire core as well as upper back, chest, triceps. My favorite variation is the fingertip push up. Now, don't just go ahead and try to do it. Use a way to progress so that you don't hurt yourself. Start out on your knees. That way so your hands can get used to it. The great thing about the fingertip push up is that it builds a lot of grip strength and hand strength. And unfortunately, as we get older, our grip and hand strength definitely goes away very quickly. It's one of those things that you've got to consistently train. And if you don't have time to go to a gym, you don't have access to weights, it's hard to really work out your grip and your forearms. Fingertip push up is one of the best things that you can do. It's what I used when I was younger to be able to palm a basketball for the first time. The next exercise everybody's familiar with is the squat. Now, the squat is fantastic for mobility, and there's so many different ways you can do it. But after a while, you'll probably find that you feel like you could do 1,000 squats and not really get a lot out of it just because our legs get so much stronger. So, the main variation that I like to use is the pistol squat. The pistol squat is a unilateral movement. You do it on one foot, you keep the other foot out in front of you, and it's definitely okay to hold on to something or brace yourself against a wall while you're getting used to the movement. And eventually, as you do it over time, you can do it standing on your own. It's great for mobility. It's also great for building up each individual leg strength. And that's going to basically translate better to real world. Because in the real world, mowing the grass, walking the dogs, where you're doing a lot of stuff unilateral. You're not just doing a two-legged, squat. Third exercise is a hinge movement, and that's the RDL. Now, the RDL, some people confuse it with the straight-legged deadlift. They're very similar, but they're designed to help strengthen the hips, the hip flexors, the groin area. Unfortunately, modern society has us sitting all day long. And when you're sitting all day long, your hip flexors get weak. Now, RDLs are great, but after a while, you might find that they're just not challenging enough. And that's where one of my all time favorite exercises comes into play. That is the pancake RDL. You set yourself up like you're in a split position and you go forward. You can put your hands in front of you. As you get more accustomed to it, you can put your hands behind your back. It is one of the best exercises for building up your abductor strength and your hip flexors. It's great for increasing mobility and unlocking the hips. It's probably the best thing that I've ever used and the safest thing. There's some other stuff you can use with weights, but a lot of times they compress the spinal cord. With the Pancake RDL, I definitely feel it as far as it stretching out my spine, my lower back. I just feel better when I do it. Now, do me a favor. If you like this information, go ahead, subscribe, share it. I'll definitely keep putting out more information about this. It comes to a point where you realize that you don't need a gym to stay in shape. When you don't have time, you got family responsibilities, or if you're battling injuries and from lifting heavy weights for years, beat up shoulders, lower back, whatever, you need something that you can do on your own time, anywhere, whether you're traveling in a hotel, at home, in between carpool, right when you get off work, whatever it is, something simple and easy you can do to help stay in shape. Because staying in shape is important. You don't need to spend 2 or 3 hours, but you definitely need to be consistent. And you need to do it several times throughout the week. It's the number way to stay healthy, be capable for your family, your friends, and your community.